So one of the most important things I think politicians should be doing is looking at the equity of treatment throughout the country. I think the treatment's very different in different areas. There is a bit of a postcode lottery. Palliative care services are not the same throughout the country, and I know lots of people who haven't been offered palliative care. And they've been an enormous help to me, mostly in terms of symptom control, getting my painkillers right.
The one thing that politicians should be doing to help women with secondary breast cancer is giving them access to the drugs that they need. When I was diagnosed, I was told that the hope was that breast cancer would become a chronic illness, so an illness that you live with rather than that you die from. But I think unless we have access to the drugs, that's never going to be a reality.
The one thing that politicians could do for people with secondary breast cancer is I received really, really good service and care from a secondary breast cancer nurse who's a specialist in the disease secondary breast cancer. And I know from having been on forums and I know from having been on telephone support groups that not everyone has access to a secondary breast care nurse.
The one thing I think that the government could be doing to support people with secondary breast cancer is to actually look at the data and the statistics. Secondary breast cancer at the moment is not driven by data. We don't know exactly how many women have secondary breast cancer. We don't know how many women die of secondary breast cancer, because often on certificates and things it's put as pneumonia or heart failure, but actually we have no data in which to drive things like the Cancer Drug Fund and actually how we operate services for people who are living with this disease.
I think what the government need to do that would be helpful is actually one is the recognition of secondary breast cancer and people living with it, because I don't think it actually gets enough recognition. Support we need badly. We actually need support and advice because we're entering a different stage that we don't know anything about.